Hey, I'm Johnny from Johnny's Vintage Motorcycle. We have a customer from Wyoming that dropped off a Kawasaki KZ1000A to us. It's a 77, and he kind of wants to get it straightened around, and he's a viewer of our YouTube videos. He wants us to straighten it out for him. So for starters, it's got Z1 body parts on it, and it has a seat off of a KZ900, and we're going to vapor blast the motor. We're going to get him some K&N filters. He wants to put a Kirker header on it. Wants a decent set of tires. Now if you look at the bike closely, you see the rear wheel is off of a Z1. KZ900 is the same wheel also as the Z1. However, this bike came with a disc brake on the rear, so we're going to convert the bike over to a rear disc, how it came. He wants to put a decent taillight on it without an inner chrome fender. So we're going to put a plastic inner fender on the front, underneath the seat, and then we're going to put a special tail lamp bracket that we buy from Japan so we can mount the tail section without using the chrome rear fender. Then we're going to vapor blast the motor and rebuild the motor and just kind of feel it out and get rid of all the stuff that's been kind of cobbed up over the years. And he wants a nice perfect motorcycle, and he wants to retain the turn signals and stuff that he has on the motorcycle. So we're going to go over some stuff. We're going to fix it up. He wants to maintain the same handlebars and put some foam grips on it. So this is the beginning of our project, and we're going to take you through it step by step. This is a tank that I found, the locking gas cap. The cap has some very minor pitting. If that's not good enough for you, we can get a better one. Now if you look, we've cleaned out the inside of the tank. Looks pretty good. Now what I'm getting ready to do here is we're going to remove the cap. I'm going to go through the cap, make it nice. And oftentimes what the painters make a mistake doing is they'll paint the motorcycle and they'll put paint right here. Okay, we don't like to do that because you always stand the chance of this paint coming off and going into the gas tank, and then the paint has to find a home somewhere, and it usually goes to the petcock or eventually makes it through to the carburetor. So we're not interested in doing that. So what I'm going to do right now is, now that we have the inside of the tank totally nice, we're going to remove the lid, and by hand we're going to take and remove the paint, and I'm going to tell the painter not to paint above this line right here. This is just our standards. This is why I wanted to handle all this before we took it to the painter. So this will be the highest level that I want paint. We're going to do the cap, and as we talked before, this is the correct tank for this motorcycle, as it accepts the early style petcock. So we're going to put a Pingle petcock on it, which I'll show you later. So this is all looking pretty good. I don't think this tank leaks, as we've had the metal rescue in it for a couple days now, and it has not leaked any out. So that's all good. And also you can see we have the emblems here. So we're going to put nicer emblems on here than what you have. So we're going to get these screws out, which there's a potential of a pain getting these out because they're really soft material. So here's your emblems, and this is your bike over here, and this has all been bonded in. So your tank will now have the new tank will obviously have a locking gas cap, as well as you'll be able to put the emblems there. And you also, we'd like to use the Pingle petcock. We're going to test your petcock to see if it's any good. Maybe we can use what you have, but I'm leaning towards the pin gold because it's very, very high quality, and we use them on all the motorcycles that we put together. What we have right now is your seat pan, and I had the seat pan powder coated, and then we chased all the threads. Everything is good, and put the rubbers in there, what have you. Very nice pan, very solid. And this is also the correct pan for the KZ1000A, because we've got the seat catch here, and we've got the 2 holes here, and then obviously this is where hinges go. Okay, now you'll find this is a reproduction seat cover, and this is for KZ1000A, which is your bike. And as you can see, this is the right, it goes like this, so this is the correct seat pattern. See how the pattern is right here? That is correct. And of course, we have the new seat foam, which I didn't take out of the package. We're gonna send it to the upholstery guy right now. So you got new foam and a new cover and a powder coated pan, so we're rocking and rolling. We've built you a wheel. You got a brand new DID rim, polished hub, Buchanan stainless steel spokes and nipples. We got a new inner spacer here, new bearings, got a new O-ring here, where my finger is at right there. Then we have the sprocket carrier done, replated studs, new nuts. We've got the snap ring that goes on it, new locks, new seal, and we got the bearing. Okay, over here we've got 6 new side cover rubbers for you. Those are for the plastic side covers. Now, here's your swing arm. We got you a swing arm here for the KZ1000A model for setting up a disc. This is the sleeve that goes inside it. The bearing's already inside it, ready to go. This is the arm here that goes right here to the brake caliper. This is all nice, beautiful powder coated stuff. To skip around a little bit, here's the pins for your seat hinge. These are the hinges right here. This is the seat catch that goes under the frame. This is all powder coated. New nuts, or new bolts, I'm sorry. And the U-bolt, this is all replated. Then of course we're gonna put nuts here, but we have those in our bin. Okay, then we're gonna go to the rear axle. This is the correct axle for your application. This is replated. These are replated chain adjusters with the bolts. This is the spacer that goes between the brake hanger and the caliper on the axle. This is the sprocket's inner sleeve that goes inside here. This is the axle spacer that goes on the outside of the axle where the threads go. The nut, the cotter pin, and of course we talked about the locks. Okay, next, this is the bracket that holds the side cover on. You had the earlier side covers. This is for the later side covers. This bolts to the frame, and then side cover grommet here goes inside here. Then we also have these are replated bolts for the caliper. They're Allen bolts. We got a genuine bleeder with the cap for the caliper. This is the caliper rebuild kit. This is the pistons. I'm not sure which we're going to use, but we're going to rebuild the whole caliper. These are the pins and the shims and the inspection cover that goes over the caliper. Then we have EBC brake pads. We're going to take EBC brake pads and we're going to rebuild your whole system with .5 EBC brake fluid. We'll be using this EBC .5 fluid. This will give you a lot of response. It's real thin, but it's .5, so it's not going to ruin your paint job if the seal goes bad, or if the bike sits a long time, it's going to be cool. So we're going to run the EBC brake fluid as well as the EBC pads. And here is the mount. A couple of rubber bushings going here and here. This is the top hold down for your battery. This goes just on top of the battery box. Your bike was missing that. So as you can see, there's a lot of nice detail. I'll send you some more pictures here in a little bit, but I just kind of want to show you where we're at for right now. Here's the last three items I'm going to show you today. This is the rear brake rotor. This is actually kind of hard to find. We cleaned it up a little bit. Looks like it's got some marks on it here, but I think the first time you put the brakes on, it'll clean up a lot. So we painted the inside of it and we cleaned up around here, so we masked this off so your rivets still show just like genuine. So I thought we'd show you that. That's pretty cool. And here's the caliper that we're going to rebuild. Had it powder coated and stuff. It's actually in pretty good shape. Inside is pretty nice. We have some carburetor caps that we had polished out. This will be for your bike. So we think you'd like that. Now keep in mind it's not chrome, that's polished, so you'll be able to maintain these. So I just thought I'd show you those. Okay, we got your cases apart. The cases don't look too bad. You can see where someone painted them black and all that, so we'll get that all stripped down when we take it to the vapor blaster. Now we got a issue here where someone fixed this hole at one time. This is where your sprocket cover goes on. So we're gonna address that. We're gonna fix that. You had some welding done underneath on the case right here, but I think this is gonna be okay. It's because it's level here and stuff. That'll be fine, I think. Your cylinder head is good. There's no broken fins, no explosions or nothing like that. Usually, you know, these studs right here, you know, they're bad, but this all looks good, and the combustion chamber looks good. No issues. I think this is going to be good. We've not checked the valve guides and stuff, but that's all easy work there. And if we come to the other side here, this is all good. No, there's never been usually they grind them out for big cams and all that stuff. This looks good still. Okay, we got one issue here. Someone put new pistons in this motorcycle, but the cylinder bore is 4 thousandths clearance between the piston and the cylinder wall. I recommend we try to find another cylinder that's not as big, and possibly we could hone it to size. We got to look and see what we have. I mean, one of the other things I don't like about this cylinder, besides it's the piston clearance, is we've got some broken fins right here. And if you're going to make a beautiful bike, broken fins aren't really cool. So I think you're money ahead to get a different cylinder for it. I mean, this could be a good spare or something, but it's worn out. It'll be smoking soon. And then this case here looks pretty cool. I would say painted it black. We scrubbed it off and some of the paint came off while we're scrubbing it. And then we got your covers cleaned up. So we'll send these out and get these polished. This is pretty nice stuff. I don't see any cracks or damage or issues. We have the rest of the stuff over here. Now we have the engine covers. Everything looks pretty good. I don't see any road rash. The stuff's all pretty good. So I think we'll get this all polished out really nice like we were talking. This is a reproduction fin cover. I think we should go with the stock one, because it'd be extremely difficult to polish this because of the fins. So I think if we use the stock cover, we can make it look more uniform. That'd be what I would suggest. Now here's a front brake rotor. I'm not sure if this is one we're going to use or not. It's in pretty good shape. So we'll definitely talk about the brake rotor. Well, actually, this is the rear one. This is one of my spares. This is the front right here. So we got to clean that up a little bit. We had this polished out right here. Where we're going to paint the inside so it looked like this one. And then you got some scratches and stuff here, but that will go away when we use the front brake at the first time. So we can talk about that. And of course I want to, paint this up and get rid of the paint here on these rivets and stuff, make this nice for you. What we've got going on here now is we came up with the KZ1000 disc brake rear brake pedal, which you can see right here. Then here we've mounted a modern style rear brake master cylinder. So before we go and get your frame powder coated, we wanted to make sure that everything here was perfect. So what we've got going on is we fabricated this bracket on there. We've got this set up on here with the master cylinder with the rod coming down. So this would activate it going up like this. So we push down on the pedal and it activates the piston like that. Then it sucks in the fluid and sends it out the banjo bolt. Okay, then over here on the motor, where your case was broken here, Hilo fixed this and put an insert in here. So you're going to be rocking here pretty quick. So we're going to get ready to get these vapor blasted, and it shouldn't be too much longer before we're done with everything. Here and there's some welding else that someone had done here before, but we think that'll be okay. Right there, they welded it. So obviously the motor's been apart before. So you should have a good one. Okay, thanks. We've got your frame ready to go to the powder coater. We wound up welding this bracket on here, ground it down, made it nice. And also we fixed the holes right here. So we're ready to send it to the powder coater. I'm gonna get you a decal for the front here, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. Okay, Blake, we've got your motor mounts here. Now these are the ones that came out of your bike. They're all chromed up. By the time we would get the chrome stripped and powder coated, we're better off just exchanging them. So we're just going to sell you these outright. But anyway, this is why we're changing most of them. I mean, the chrome is coming off on every one of them. So it's definitely not the quality bike that for you. But so anyway, we're gonna sell you these black ones. So I just thought I'd show you that. Okay, I got your seat ready. It's KZ1000 style. This is a cover. This is the exact pattern for the KZ1000. Get the new foam as we showed you, and we powder coated the seat pan. This is nice. This is real nice. We've got your meters back from the guy today. I get so excited when I see this stuff. He did a great job. I mean, this is fantastic work. I mean, this is as good as new. And this one here is done also. Nice stuff. Gets them on the back. Everything is looking good. This is just taped up so we don't get any dust in there where the lights go, but just had to share this with you. One of the nicer things that we get here. So just totally very nice, very nice. This is your oil pan. It's perfect. No broken fins. It's absolutely nice. Now we're still waiting on the polishing to come back. So I'm going to show you some more stuff here. This is your cylinder head. Very nice. It's all very nice. This is nice stuff. I think you'll be more than happy with this. No broken fins, ready to rock and roll. And then here are your engine cases. These are all ready to put back together. No issues, no problems. Just got this back from my polisher. He does the best work I've ever seen. So anyway, here's your glossy lower legs with a nice cap. The cap is on this one here. Here's your inner point housing. Nice stuff. Kickstart cover. Oil pump cover. We call it an oil pump cover because this used to be the chain roller pump on the early bikes, so they refer to it as oil pump cover, but it's actually a teardrop or whatever you want to call it. Then here's your dyno cover. Here's your clutch cover, breather, and of course your cam cover. So we're proceeding here, and then we come over here, and here's your motor. The motor's looking good. You can see where we fixed the case right here where the bolt was busted and everything. So this is all looking pretty good. You can see here we got a replated kickstart shaft on this side. Head's looking good. We're making some good time on it now. Now I think we have everything in stock, so I will be able to go right along here. It is KZ1000 we're restoring. And Hilo's gonna true the wheel. Right now, after he's got all the spokes together and they're tight, it goes 2 millimeter to this side out. So he's gonna adjust it after he's done with all his adjustments of adjusting the spokes. He's gonna make it to 0.2 millimeter, not 2 millimeter.
Maybe okay. Now 1 millimeter right now. Yeah.
It's always easier for us to put the motor in the frame like this because we're getting older and they're too heavy for us to lift up with the motors and stuff. But anyway, the head and everything's set. So we just wanted to show you the rear wheel that we made for your motorcycle, the Buchanan stainless steel spokes, the Kenda tires. The shocks are just kind of on here for right now. I don't know what we're going to do about shocks. But the frame's done. This is the special tail light that we have so you don't have to run the inner fender. So it's gonna look pretty cool. We got we got a better fender on it than what you had, this inner fender. And of course the powder coated frame. Your fender was pretty nice. The spokes are nice and they got the kind of tires up front. Got the Timken bearings in it. Everything's replated up here. So everything's looking pretty good. I think you're gonna be pretty happy with this bike today. Motor runs good. We haven't ridden it at all yet, but we are going to very shortly. So here's what the paint looks like. That's the little Z1 section you want to put on there. It's the fenderless, no inner fender. Everything's hooked up pretty good. Then here's all your nice wiring with your taillight wiring harness and what have you. Got this nice band right here to hold the battery that was missing, but that's all nice now. And here's your regulator rectifier solid state, K&N breather. I mean, I can't say enough good stuff. This bike's clean. So we'll get some videos of it for you later on running. But as you can see, I mean, everything is right where it belongs. Everything's uniform. I mean, it's nice. Forks cleaned up nice. I mean, it's got a bunch of fingerprints on it and stuff, but you know, we're coming around on this one. Got your turn signals back on it the way you wanted it. You know, all your levers are nice. I mean, everything's nice. Okay. So here's our custom KZ1000 that belongs to a customer. His name is Blake Ober. And when he brought it to us, it had some issues and what have you, but I think we got it about all dialed in right now. And had some really good people help us on this motorcycle. I'm going to start with the gauges here. These are rebuilt gauges on the Genuine. This came from Don Fulsang. He does a great job, really great job. Then we have on this side of the motorcycle some of the things we feature here. is the Pingle Petcock. Then some of the other things we feature are the K&N air filters. K&N makes these, and this is a nice part. And if you notice, we got a distance here between the air cleaner and the side cover. You don't have to cut these filters for these to work. And then we got the breather cover that goes right here on top of the breather, and that's nice. That's really nice stuff. And then our polisher, he just does a fantastic job of polishing. He's fantastic. These are screws that we have made here. This is all American made stuff. And then we have the line here that we make. The lower legs that are polished. Now these are bugs and what have you, because we've been riding the bike. We always like to test drive these bikes for at least 100 miles before we turn them loose. And if you look at the front of the motor, you're going to see all our replated stuff. But I can't thank Kenda Tire for making these tires. This is called a Kenda Retroactive. And the tires fit perfect. It's a perfect match for what we're doing here. So we put these on the Kawasaki's, the Yamahas, the Honda 750s. I mean, this is the tire. And here's the rear tire here. So this is all good stuff. And we make these brake lines here. They go all the way back here. We make all that here. So I just thought I'd show you some of the stuff that we do. But above all, my special thanks to Kirker Header for participating in our program. This is just a wonderful, wonderful pipe. I mean, it's a top quality pipe. It's not bluing. I know it helps to have the jetting right, but I mean, we have the recipe here because we're running the K&Ns, and everything's working pretty good. And the bike only has like 60 miles on it, so obviously it's a little dirty from everything. But also, thank Ace Powder Coating in Akron. That's my buddy Ed Vanneman's company. They vapor blasted the motor, the engine cases. I mean, it's just phenomenal. And they do an excellent job as far as the powder coating. The headlamp bucket's powder coated. They powder coated the lower meter covers. The frame is powder coated. I mean, they did a really, 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 really nice job, and I'm really glad that we're hooked up with them. And then my polisher polished out the levers and what have you. So one other company we want to thank a lot is EBC Brakes. We're using the EBC.5 brake fluid as well as the EBC brake pads, front and rear. So we're blessed to have them still working with vintage parts and what have you. So it makes our job a lot easier. And then Colony Machine, they make all our bolts for us and stuff, special just for Johnny's. Now the only thing that's not done on this motorcycle, and we're going to work with the customer to figure it out, these are the shocks that he brought in to us. So we didn't put a lot of effort into them because we don't know where we're going with it for sure. And it had a different style swingarm on it when we first got it. If you go to the left side of the motorcycle, you can see we don't have a chain guard on it yet, because the stock chain guard will not work with those shocks. So we want to...
Great.
Look better?
A lot better. It's beautiful.
We were actually just finishing up the video on it. Every time we get started on doing something, it rains or something, we can't do anything with it. But, all right, motor's cold. One, two, over. That's about good enough. Get my warm touch about Tell us really what you think.
I really like it.
I mean, if you smoke, it's be a nice ashtray.